This is my little tease. We're going to dive into that topic. For now, I want to talk about, is the gaming press ethical?
Games media has long had a problem with corruption and ethical issues.
Joining us today are Mario and Luigi. We're going to learn some inside tricks to Super Mario Bros. 3, but first, this commercial break.
Going back to the early days of video games journalism, games magazines such as Nintendo Power were owned and operated by games companies themselves. This was, of course, fairly obvious. What you read in those magazines could be taken with a grain of salt, in the upfront knowledge that it would be hideously biased. Things were not, yet, as serious.
As always, we've got the up-to-the-minute news you're waiting for, and we get it from the #1 source in gamer goodies, GamePro Magazine.
Magazines, back when these kind of things were in print, were either glorified catalogues for their parent company or enthusiast press, not dissimilar to any other niche interest hobby. Early games writers were drawn from the hobbyists who constructed computers with no real agenda and a pragmatic view towards games. Did they work? Were the graphics good? Did they show something cool that the computer could do? Were they fun? That was pretty much the extent of their interest in it.
We're on the floor of the Electronic Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, this is E3. This is the one time a year event where all the major players in the industry get together, show off their wares, see what the other guy has, and schmooze.
Once gaming in and of itself became more of a thing, you began to see specialist games reviewers. These were perhaps a bit more discerning. These kind of reviews began with breathless enthusiasm, turning to more cynicism and humour in their observations going into the 90s.
Tired of all the fun and entertainment in your gaming television? Then we've got the hardcore program that strips the fun off of the games and focuses on what's really important. Adam Sessler's Opinion. This is Meet the Sess. It's insightful.
My has more life than the PSP battery.
It's unbiased.
I hate all of these games.
He's not afraid of asking the tough questions.
So you like Xenosaga?
Yes.
What the is your problem?
He doesn't hold back.
We're gonna raise money to fund an army and hunt down those steely-eyed insurgents that are green-lighting the Mega Man games.
Trust us, he doesn't play happy grab-ass with his guests.
Just because Grand Theft Auto San Andreas sold 6 million copies in no way proves that gaming has gone mainstream.
You know, if I ever said something that stupid, I would shave my ass and shoot myself.
Adam Sessler.
Do you like RPGs now?
Meet the Sess.
If I cared about your opinion, you'd have a television show.
The fun stops here.
Things began to get more serious as the games industry began to explode in popularity and worth. Games reviews began to shift online and to an advertising rather than a subscription or sales revenue model.
What's the first thing you guys are going to do once you get in the game world, you got a car, what are you going to do?
Drive around and look for a helicopter and just like fly over the city.
Yeah, that's
Helicopter first, that's a good one actually.
13.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're here for Grand Theft Auto?
Probably pick up a hooker.
Probably try to kill as many people as I can. I try to steal as many cars as I can, and hopefully that'll serve me as training in real life.
So do you have a... In keeping with real life, I'm gonna get hammered. You can actually get hammered in this one? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and you can even drive drunk if you want to.
All right,
Not
perfect.
that I endorse it, kids.
But this was also the period, the 2000s, in which financial corruption began to creep in seriously. Companies wielded their direct and indirect financial muscle to demand better reviews and to ensure cooperation by games media outlets. Failure to cooperate would mean the loss of early access and advertising revenue.
If you're looking for a review of Halo 4, this is not the video that you want. That video is actually on this channel, so go watch that and then come back and watch this, because this is infinitely much stupider. We got this box in the mail.
Lost access meant fewer exclusives and a delay in news, fatal in the immediacy of the internet.
Doritos and Mountain Dew. I don't know if those are software companies or... No, they're snack foods, who am I kidding?
This has given advertisers and sponsors an enormous amount of power over games media outlets through their direct or indirect sponsorships. To get early access, to get early release copies of games, to make reviews and guides and so on, they need to maintain a good relationship with the game studios. Bad reviews risk losing revenue and access.
And here to help us find our way through the chaos, Sony's Kyle Schubel. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing great, Kevin. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
At the same time, you have issues around the games media regarding nepotism and corruption. payola has long been the case, and sponsorship has been at the status of self-parody for years.
Please stay in the business, get excited about being a game journalist, because we need more great game journalists. I talk to a lot of young, aspiring game journalists, and you know, they're writing previews, or they're writing a review, and that's great, or they're covering the news. But what you really need to do is kind of find your own niche.
Oh yeah, I'm a journalist. You hear me, Neil Gaff? You hear me, Jeff Keighley? Mountain Dew, call me, because I need to get this tattoo touched up. I know that much, and let's be honest, I have no shame.